And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world, as a testimony to all nations, and then, the end, will come. He said, I am going to tell you what will happen later in the time of wrath, because the vision concerns the appointed time of the end. The two-horned ram that you saw represents the kings of Media and Persia, the shaggy goat is the king of Greece, and the large horn between its eyes is the first king. We are told, this vision is concerning the end times. Any similar occurrences that have happened in the past are not relevant. These events will happen just before Jesus' 1,000-year reign on the earth. Daniel tells us that beasts represent kingdoms and horns represent military powers within that kingdom. The ram is symbolic of the Persian Empire, and the two horns represent the military powers within that empire, which are Media and Persia. In our modern times, Media would be Iraq and Persia would be Iran. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. When John had this vision, he was in the Roman Empire, before this was the Greek Empire, and what John is saying, is this Greek Empire beast would re-emerge. This new Greek Empire is the United Nations, and we see on its logo the Greek wreath over the whole world. The United Nations pushes democracy, which is a Greek government, and like in ancient Greece, the empire was formed by independent nation-states coming together. The large horn is the United States, which is the only superpower in the United Nations. The UN is this goat Greek kingdom that was prophesied to come. Standing beside the canal, and the horns were long. One of the horns was longer than the other but grew up later. I watched the ram as it charged toward the west, and the north, and the south. We are told that the ram has two horns, which are two military powers. The first horn is smaller than the second horn, which comes up later. This ram is causing problems for its neighbors. Iraq was a smaller military force compared to Iran, and Iran started causing troubles for its neighbors, after Iraq's military power was broken. As I was thinking about this, suddenly a goat with a prominent horn between its eyes came from the west, crossing the whole earth without touching the ground. It came toward the two-horned ram I had seen standing beside the canal, and charged at it in a great rage. I saw it attack the ram furiously, striking the ram and shattering its two horns. The ram was powerless to stand against it. The goat knocked it to the ground and trampled on it, and none could rescue the ram from its power. The prominent horn is the US, and the goat is the UN. It was the US-led United Nations coalition of the willing, which destroyed Iraq's military power, and now it is in the process of destroying Iran's military power, symbolized by the two broken horns. The goat became very great, but at the height of its power the large horn was broken off, and in its place four prominent horns grew up toward the four winds of heaven. The four horns that replaced the one that was broken off represents four kingdoms that will emerge from his nation, but will not have the same power. Later, the large horn is broken off the UN goat. The US will have its military power broken, and we see there will be four smaller horns which now run the UN. Once the US is removed from the UN Security Council, the other four permanent member nations on that council will run the UN.